Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Classic.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Classic. Yeah. Classic.
International.
Classic.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it in the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time? Yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages on moon getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? 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 You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Put that on my soul. They ain't hungry no more when it's time to eat crow. Or farming, I'm enhancing my glow. Ain't gon' argue with you about what I know. Photo album, all I'm seeing is ghosts. Had to remodel from pillar to post. Said what I said, I ain't come here to argue. You said congratulations, should've said sorry. Doubt it, now you won't be part of the party. Your access denied, I'm sorry, not sorry. When I needed air, niggas wouldn't have farted. Now they pulling up and thinking we solid. Now I'm on the phone talking $1 million topics. Up early, Zoom call out to Abu Dhabi. Don't answer my phone if it's gonna be about gossip. I don't really care, everybody got problems. That's why I be sharing my woes, letting y'all know it's okay, you can come up from the bottom. Scraping, scratching, clawing. Before I start running, I started with crawling. Before I got balance, I started with falling. Started with broke before I ever was balling. Started with hope before ever rewarded. They ain't show up till I became important. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? 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 You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Man, they lay in the cut, stay in the cut. Watch you blow up and won't show you no love. People I got the most hate from in
Classic. Classic.
Look, I'm doing all that talking on mute, chat. Yo, it's Classic with the Classic Code Sports, and we here with another great live stream for y'all. Man, shout out to the chat in the building, chat 333, the best ones doing it,
Classic.
man. For sure. Good looking out, souls. Yes, sir.
I'm only gonna do this once.
We here, man. We here to talk about one thing and one thing only. We only got one topic at hand today, all right? The Devin Haney haters have got to eat crow, all right? I already did a live stream. You know, letting everybody know I was right about everything. When it came to the Devin Haney fight, I was right about absolutely everything. All right, down to him being able to hurt Brian Norman, down to him washing the boy, down to this not being anything close to anything near a 50-50 fight. I was right about everything. So we already got that covered.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? We already got that covered. I didn't buy the bull. Obviously, they have to sell you guys a fight, and so they have to make you believe that this fight is going to be competitive and close and that these guys are a really good matchup and all of that. And they'll make you buy the nonsense if you don't know what you're looking at when you're looking at it. You understand me? Brian Norman's chances of winning were 1%. 1%. If he fight Devin Haney 100 times, he'll probably lose 100 times. Maybe one time he lands this magic punch y'all was looking for. But aside from that, he never had a chance.
Classic.
He never had a chance. And some people, you know, it's crazy because these people that actually box, these people that actually, you know what I mean, participated in the sport. They are professional trainers and have trained world champions and fighters that have been world champions, and they still don't know shit about what they looking
Classic.
It's amazing to me. I'm going to be real with you. Boxing is one of the few sports where you could be active in the sport, obtain some success, and still don't know shit.
Classic.
It's true, chat. It's true, chat. Prime example. Prime example. Hold on. Prime example. This ninja right here. This ninja right here. Showtime Sean Porter. As a fighter, I like Sean Porter. As a content creator, he cool. He cool. As a content creator, he cool. Like I check his stuff out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, if he got Zattel over there with him, if he got Sean Zattel over there with him, if he got you know, he got a nice cast and stuff like that. He cool. You know, not my top sports pages that I watch on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But he probably like top 15 on some shit. You feel me? But I'm disappointed in Sean. And so we got to call this man to the carpet.
Classic.
Sean Porter early on when the Devin Haney Brian Norman fight was being announced, Sean Porter was documented saying that he didn't even think that the Haneys were going to go through with the fight. Didn't think that they really wanted the fight like that, right? Out of my options, I'll fight him, but make him the last option is what Sean Porter's analysis was of the Haney's approach. You ain't see the hit list on Twitter, boy?
Classic.
You didn't see when Bill Haney dropped the hit list on Twitter? Brian Norman was on the hit list. You understand me? Brian Norman was on the hit list. Jerron Ennis was on the hit list.
Yeah.
Huh? A rematch with Ryan Fair and Square was on the hit list. You understand what I'm saying? These things were on the hit list, chat. We covered the hit list. Go back in my content. We covered the hit list. Bill Haney said the hit list is real. Was Brian Norman's name on the hit list, chat? Well, yes, it was. When his name was called, did they accept the challenge like they always do? Yes, they did. Y'all thought it was going to be a close fight, and it wasn't. Joke's on you. Huh? Yo, what up? Brandon Fat, what up? Yeah, joke's on you for buying the nonsense. You bought it. They put it on clearance, and you bought it because it was on sale. You bought it. So we're gonna let this man eat crow. I'm talking about we gonna put the crow in a slow cooker. And we gonna just let it spin and saute and just we're gonna let this man eat crow. I'm talking about we want that crow falling off the bone. Tendonism. We want that crow falling off the bone. Tendonism. Now listen to the double talk that's about to take place today. Soft Rain, you could take the day off. This is the double talk champion of the world. You all but called Devin. See, it's this thing called an underhanded compliment, chat. I'm going to list 4 or 5 good things about you that aren't debatable and list 4 or 5 bad things too. And the balance, we're gonna call the balance objectivity. We're not going to call it hate. Real ones know the difference. You're not going to mask your hating as objectivity, gang. You're not objective. Everyone that, before I even get into the video, let me talk my shit. You're not objective, Sean Porter. Anybody who is objective understands that Devin Haney is everything that you want a boxer to be, fam.
Classic.
He is. For the last however many years, Devin been fighting the best available. Emphasis on available because it's a lot of ducking going on. He's been fighting the best available opponents to him for years. Devin has no documented ducks on his jacket.
Classic.
You understand? There's not a lot of them in the game. It's not a lot of them in the game. David Benavidez, he ain't never ducked nobody. Bud Crawford, he ain't never ducked nobody. That we know of. And when I say documented duck, I'm talking about we have confirmed that a contract was sent to you. And you sent that motherfucker back like, nah.
Classic.
You feel me? So he's exemplary. It don't matter if he win all his fights. He's exemplary. We got niggas like Sugar Ray Robinson on document duck and shit.
Classic.
Facts. So put respect where it belongs. That's objectivity. We got shit. Go watch the Black Murderers Row documentary on YouTube done by Champside. It's about 3 hours long. Y'all want some history on boxing? Y'all really want to know what's going on in the sport? You know what I'm saying? Go check out the Black Murderers Row documentary. Shout out to Champside, okay? We got niggas like Sugar Ray Robinson ducking shit.
Classic.
Devin Haney ain't ducked nothing. And the one dude y'all said, oh my God, I can't believe this is a bad fight for Dev. And oh no, and Norman, the last guy he punched, he don't remember yesterday, and all this other shit. Went in there and systematically dismantled this man. Not only that, broke his nose all up, nose all crooked and shit.
Classic.
And y'all thought it was gonna be close. And then when you wrong, instead of being like, listen, I thought they were tentative, I thought they didn't want the fight. Boy, was I wrong. Instead of being like, I thought Norman Jr. would have showed himself to be more competitive against Devin. I thought he would, boy, was I wrong. I thought that Devin would be a little gun shy. I still felt like maybe he had some remnants of PTSD in him, and boy, was I wrong. That ain't what he said, chat.
Classic.
That ain't what he said, chat. Let's listen to this.
Saw last week, but we did the show last week live.
Yeah.
And I felt like there were a lot of people that came onto our live that aren't fans of the podcast.
Okay.
And the reason why I say I felt like these guys aren't fans of guys weren't fans of the podcast is because they kind of were coming at me. Like, Sean, just say you were wrong and, eat crow. And I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, but Sean, believe it, that you have fans that do that.
So that was.
Hey, listen, and you not helping Ant. I always looked at Ant like he a real one. This pandering ass bullshit ain't doing nothing either. Eat crow, nigga. You was wrong about everything. Just because you acknowledge things that are absolute facts about Devin that happen to be positive does not mean the negative things that you spewed, the rhetoric that you spewed, you know what I'm saying, was not hating ass bullshit and proven on fight night to be absolutely incorrect, fam. Yes, you do need to eat crow. And friends like this, they don't help. They don't help. Keep it real, bro. Your opinion was off, folks. Your analysis, your assessment, it was off, folks. None of us shooting 100% from the field in this boxing shit. My parlays don't always hit. I'm hitting at a higher clip than you for sure, though. Because you had Brian Norman, didn't you? You said it was a 50-50 fight, didn't you? Stupid ass boy.
That's what,
y'all was doing that to me.
Yeah, people do that.
I felt like
they love for you to admit you're wrong. That's how many times when I lost, I picked a fight on here. People are like, yeah, what happened now? Like, bro, yeah, okay, I lost.
Listen, I'm gonna make this announcement right now. I'm going back to being a 50-50 guy, and I'll explain why along the way. But I'm gonna do this.
You've been wrong too much.
I'm gonna do this real quick, right? I'm gonna talk directly. I'm speaking directly to Devin Haney. Okay. I'm also speaking to the fans, the supporters of Devin Haney that may have felt like whatever you've been seeing him say or feel he's been doing, that you might feel he's justified. Listen, I'm gonna say my piece, 10 minutes of this, and then we're done with it. Whatever happens after that happens. But disclaimer for my guy Ant right here: don't take shots at anybody else. It all comes at me.
Okay, I don't care.
I know you don't care, but it all comes.
Hey, bro, you don't get to. I don't like people like this. I don't like people like this. Hey, fam, you said what you said about me. You don't get to choose nothing about my reaction.
Classic.
Last time that I checked, we was all grown-ass men, dog. You said what you said. You don't get to choose anything about you don't get to pick how I react, what's an overreaction, what you consider to be appropriate of a reaction, who I respond to, who I bring into it, who I get involved, how disrespectful I choose to be, how respectful I choose to be, high road, low road. All you get to do is choose what you said, fam. You don't get to choose nothing about how I proceed after I kick the dude ass who you said was punching memory out of motherfuckers, right?
Classic.
Don't tell me who to talk to. Don't tell me how to talk to him. None of that. And you boxed. He boxed. So if it's that, it's plenty of gems.
Classic.
We already heard Devin Haney was punching on your ass when he was 14 years old, chat.
I'm only gonna do this once.
So everybody calm down.
I'm built for this, baby.
This is my Dr. Schultz moment, okay? You guys remember the Django film? Dr. Schultz and Django are going to get his wife, Broomhilda, from Candyland. They get there, they do the job, everything's done. And
it's only appropriate that this motherfucker brought up Django. Very appropriate. If you know, you know.
Then Calvin finds out that this joint is twisted up.
Mhm.
He still is going to let Broomhilda and Django and Dr. Schultz go. Sign the paperwork, all that kind of stuff. It's all done. Dr. Schultz is just in this funk. He's in this space feeling like it's done. That's how I feel. I feel like it's done. What's been said has been said. But you're continuing to poke the bear. You're continuing to poke me and make me feel like I need to say something that I wouldn't normally say or do something that I wouldn't normally do.
Then you're not a bear. You're not a bear. Poking you, but you're not a bear. Devin Haney the bear. That's Debo Dev, boy. That's Debo Dev, boy. Yeah. That's Debo Dev. You not a bear. You not a bear. How you a bear? Sean, you was a respectable fighter, but you lost every one of the biggest fights of your career. That's a fact. Respectable fighter. We like you. We like you. This is objectivity. This is not my opinion. This is literally a fact. All the biggest fights of your career, you lost them. Every one of the biggest fights of your career. Kell Brook, L. Errol Spence, L. Terrence Crawford, L. Keith Thurman, L. All the biggest fights of your career, you lost. It's only right that you got some hate in your blood. Devin Haney, everything you wasn't. This is objectivity.
Classic.
Calvin Candy says, this deal ain't done until you shake my hand. And Dr. Schultz is like, no, I'm good. I ain't shaking your hand. I had a conversation with Andy. Me and Andy talked about this whole thing, and Andy was like, SP, just let it go. Boxing, you know how boxing goes. A week is the cycle.
So wait.
And after a week, it's gone.
Yes.
And so I was good. I told you, I said, yo, we're gonna put together the clips. I want all the receipts. I'm gonna show everything. He's like, SP, just let it go. We talked a good 10, 15 minutes. Boom, gonna let it go. But then I'm out there in LA and I'm still seeing stuff. I'm still hearing stuff. So this is my Dr. Schultz moment. This is my moment where I look at Calvin Candy. You still want to shake my hand. You still want to talk to me. And now I aim at you and I go like that. Right? So here we go.
Ooh.
10 minutes. Hey, and at the 10-minute mark, I'm done with it.
Come on, man.
I got some notes because I want to make sure that I do this right. So top to bottom, right? The Norman Jr. fight is announced, or not even announced. Everybody's talking about it. And we see that Bill Haney's talking about fighting Brian Norman Jr. and all this and that. I sent that message for notes for the people, for my guys. This wasn't for y'all. And I said, this fight ain't happening. Hey, put it on there. And now I got an answer to what I said to everybody. So now let me explain one more time what I meant by that. There's a lot of times when you're talking about a fight that you want to have happen. Mm-hmm. People don't know about this, but I was calling Terrence in 2020 to see if he and I could fight. My dad is hounding me. Give me names. We're not going to get Terrence. I said, if it ain't Terrence, it ain't nobody. I don't want to fight anybody. But that fight was talked about for a year before the fight happens. That's how long it takes for some of this stuff to happen. So when you're talking about we want the best, we want Brian Norman Jr. and all this kind of stuff, yeah, that's what you're saying out here. But at the same time, what's realistic? What can actually happen? At that point in time, when they talked about the fight, I didn't think the fight was realistic. I didn't think the fight was going to happen. I didn't think coming off of a performance that he had against Jose Ramirez, that Brian Norman Jr. being on the kind of tear that he was on was what they wanted next. I just didn't think that, right? That's what
Right. Stop. Right. So when you heard the fight was happening, you was like, that fight's not going to happen. You didn't think after we listening to what you saying after the Ramirez fight and the way the performance looked to you, you didn't think that's what they wanted next. Nigga, if I'm Devin Haney and I'm listening to you say that, bro, if you think I'm pussy, just say
Classic.
that. If you think I'm not the same fighter no more, then just say that.
Do this once.
Don't dance around it. Don't tap dance. Don't throw the hook and pivot out. Just say what you're saying and say what you're saying, bro. See, people be trying to straddle this line on some politically correct shit. I don't like that. You didn't think we wanted that work, right? At this point in time, you didn't think we wanted that work. You thought maybe we probably want to go a different direction, maybe a different touch, a lighter touch, maybe somebody not as dangerous. Whatever your explanation is, bro. If you thought we was pussy, just say that. So we hearing what you saying, bro. You can't dance out this shit, bro. We heard you. Eat crow, nigga. Tendernism.
To myself, but because it was made public, not gonna answer it. And I said that before the fight was announced that it was gonna happen. I came back around and said, oh, you know what? Actually, this fight is gonna happen. And I said, but you know what? They just kind of put their foots in their mouths. I'm not saying they're scared. That's what I said back then. I'm not saying they don't want to fight Brian Norman Jr. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is they just don't want this fight right now.
Why? Why? And you was wrong about that. And you were wrong about that. Nigga, we hearing you, bro. You re-explaining how wrong you was, bro. We hear you, bro. It's a whole bunch of y'all on the internet. You just the one I chose. Because I ain't like this. When I had clicked on this video, I was riding home from work, and I heard how he was talking. I said, nah, this ain't settling right with my spirit. I got to go protect Debo Dev. I've been following Haney, Shakur, all them boys since they were shorties. But I'm not a man fan. I'm a boxing fan. I'm going to always be objective. Fam, you was wrong. You had it fucked up. You thought Devin was in a place that he ain't in. He's straight, and he back on top, and you had to see it to believe it. If you ain't got foresight, you ain't got no sight, fam. Eat crow, fam. You want sauce with that? Fuck you talking about, boy? You want sauce with that?
It ended up being the best thing for him.
Smoking.
Ended up being the best thing for him. But number one, I was on record for saying it wasn't going to happen. And then when Bill was calling Junior and talking to him, and then everybody saying Sean was right, I said, well, you know what? Actually, while I said it wasn't going to happen, it actually is going to happen, because once I take a look at Turkey, His Excellency is involved, this fight's actually going to happen. Whereas before, you have a top rank in the PBC situation, and Sean's in the middle saying, I want Terrence Crawford, and it takes a whole year for this to happen. That ain't happening right here. So again, where was I wrong? Then the fight happens, and let's fast.
What you mean, where was you wrong? Where was you right? Where were you right, bro? Is anybody else hearing this shit? Hey, chat, get active, chat. Let me know I'm not tweeting. Am I glitching? Where were you right? You thought they didn't want the fight right now, right? You thought they didn't want the fight. You're explaining, I thought they didn't want the fight right now. You were wrong. They wanted the fight right now, and they dominated. So you were wrong. Just say you were wrong. Look at his face, chat.
For it real quick. And then, we'll go through this real quick. The performance that he had against Ryan Garcia, that fight went the way that it went. In between those knockdowns, my man was handling his business. He was doing what he needed to do. The fight was still close at the end, but we all knew that Ryan Garcia won this fight. Mm-hmm. Then you fast forward, you have the kind of performance he had against Jose Ramirez.
We didn't all know that. Again, objectivity. I didn't know Ryan won that fight. I'm objective. I watched the fight. I watched Devin win the majority of the rounds and have a couple of really bad rounds. One judge had the fight a draw. We didn't all know the fight was Devin could have got a draw that night. One more judge got it a draw. You got a majority draw. It wasn't clear that Ryan won the fight. It was clear that he had the biggest winning rounds, but he only had a couple of them. So the fight was close.
It's just not acceptable. Mm-hmm. So let's move on past that fight, because you just had this last fight. So now we have to judge you based off of your last fight. Mm-hmm. But based off of Ryan Garcia, based off all of the talk between Ryan Garcia and Jose Ramirez, you don't leave me with a whole lot to work with. So coming to this fight, I'm looking at one guy that's extremely confident as a Southern boy. Looks like he don't know how to accept no, and doesn't really look like he can be outboxed. Looks like he's going to have more answers than what he had. And y'all had the right answer for this kid. Mm-hmm. And y'all performed great. Where's the hate from me? And again, let me rewind real quick.
Bro, you had an inaccurate assessment. The hate was when you insinuated that they weren't in a position to take this fight. You thought, if I'm Devin Haney, bro, I'm interpreting that is you think we scared, or you think I'm not the same. You think I'm pussy. That's what I'm interpreting that as. That may not be what you meant. That's how that shit came off. And that's why everybody calling your ass a hater. It's unanimous, bro. The whole internet think your ass a hater. And then your assessment. Now, your assessment isn't hate. Your assessment was just inaccurate as hell. You were just super wrong, fam. You couldn't be more wrong, fam. That's it. You had a fucked up assessment. Based on the Ryan Garcia fight, which you acknowledged that Devin was kicking his ass in between the rounds where he was knocked down. You acknowledged he was kicking his ass. He also finished the fight on 2 feet, showing that he's sturdy, durable, and has a good chin. Right? Goes into the Ramirez fight. Yeah, he moved around all night, shows great stamina, doesn't get touched with a single punch. But because of that, it creates question marks in your brain. In your brain, it creates question marks. I saw him fight Ramirez, and I'm like, oh, okay, he going to get a clean win and make sure he secured this Ryan Garcia rematch. We didn't know Ryan was going to go in there and get his dumb ass stepped on by Rolly. Looked like he was just trying to secure the bag to me and not take no damage. That's what it looked like to me. But y'all didn't believe because y'all never did believe. You feel me? Y'all never did believe in Devin for real. My man was brought up under Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s tutelage. Did y'all forget? It's amazing to me. Like your assessment was just wrong. You a seeing this believing ass nigga. And that's cool. That's gonna have you fucked up out here though sometimes. And today is one of those days, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You fucked up out here.
While everybody was talking about you dropped him in the second round and then it's a snooze fest, after about 6 or 7 rounds, it becomes a snooze fest. I said last week, I'm not going to talk about this being a snooze fest. He did what he had to do. I left the hate in the back room. I could have talked about how you said you was going to fight, you was going to disarm somebody and make them a one-arm fighter, take away their best punch, which was their hook, which you did. And then you dropped the dude in the second round. How are you fighting a one-armed guy who's getting bad information from his corner and you can't do any more than what you did in the second round?
Right. That's hate. You literally just hate it. You just hate it. You're hating right now. The fight wasn't a snooze fest. I was entertained the whole way through. I watched the fight with the Raw Society Coalition. Hey, guys, was I not jumping up off the couch like, yeah, beat his ass, woo, woo, woo. I was talking shit through the whole fight, putting in bets live, running it up on Devin Haney. I mean, what are you talking about? That's underhanded shit, bro. Bro, you just hate it. This is hate. This is hate speech, bro. What are you talking about? Who is everybody saying it's a snooze fest? The only people calling it a snooze fest is the people who before the fight was giving Brian Norman a chance. Motherfuckers had to move the goalpost real quick. Oh, he won, but the shit was boring. You know what I'm saying? I thought Norman, y'all niggas was just wrong. Y'all was just wrong. Eat crow. Tender nil.
Classic.
And you got the nerve to give a 10-minute segment to re-explain how you fucked up out here?
I could have talked about how you said you was going to fight, you was going to disarm somebody and make them a one-arm fighter, take away their best punch, which was their hook, which you did. And then you dropped the dude in the second round.
Gave him credit, right? I could have talked about how you disarmed him and took away his hook and made him a one-arm fighter, which you did, giving him credit, right? I could have talked about how you dropped him in the second round and boo, which you did, right? He giving him credit. Now watch him undercut all the credit he just gave him. This is hate, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you fighting a one-armed guy who's getting bad information from his corner and you can't do any more than what you did in the second round?
Who's saying he couldn't? Who's saying he couldn't? Who's saying he couldn't do any more than what he did in the second round? Why? Why should I? I'm going to outbox this guy, cruise to a clean-ass victory, and come up out of here looking like I can go to the club tonight. Why put myself in harm's way any further than I need to? I'm going to just keep punching on this nigga. I'm going to be real. I was completely entertained watching Devin jab the shit out this boy until his white glove turned red.
Classic.
I was entertained watching him just unlimitedly just jab the dude. The nigga could not get out the way of the jab. Pop, jab, pop, jab, pop, jab, pop, pop, jab. That shit was entertaining as hell. You hating.
But I didn't say that last week. I left that off this because I try to give everybody their respect. I try to give everybody the love.
Hey, maybe if you made it a boring fight against Kell Brook, you would have won. Maybe if you would have disarmed Kell Brook and fought Kell Brook, how Devin fought Brian Norman, maybe you would have beat Kell Brook.
Classic.
Maybe if you would have made it boring against Keith Thurman, maybe you would have beat Keith Thurman.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Huh? Maybe if you would have disarmed Errol Spence and you wouldn't have got dropped against Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Maybe if you would have made it boring against Terrence Crawford, he wouldn't have stopped your ass.
Classic.
Fuck is you talking about? You trying to give advice to a nigga that's undefeated and a 3-weight division world champion. Last time I checked Showtime Sean Porter, as good as you were as a fighter and all that shit, you never were great. And you only fought in one weight class your whole fucking career. And you every single major step up you had to make yourself prominent, you took that L, boy.
Classic.
So so naturally you envious of Devin Haney. You envious of him. When y'all was climbing to the summit, you had to stop. You had to stop. And Devin, the type of nigga that was able to keep climbing, and you don't like
Classic.
it. Hating ass boy. He aura farming on your ass, boy. That's Devin the Dream Haney, boy. We not doing that, chat. Come on, man.
And one thing they hate worse than you having that glow is when you know you got that glow. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. So give them a reason to keep hating on it. You know what I'm talking about?
You aura farming on you, goofy.
Yeah. Farming hard.
up in rank. Step in the room, they pay the way. I get treated like a milli tank.
Yeah.
Classic.
I try to treat everybody how I would expect them to treat me. But because you want to go on other networks and stuff like that and talk about me and all that kind of stuff, I just got to answer to all this. I got some notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Paying for sparring. Devin, we sparred a number of 2 times. In each of those sparring sessions, I was told by my dad to do defense. And you were 14 or 15 years old, not even 16.
Sean Porter, you said on your show last week, you spoke on the Devin Haney sparring, and you said that you were told to do defense, like you're saying now, and Devin was like 14 or 15 years old, like you're saying right now, and you said that, you know, you could tell that even if your dad would have allowed you to open up, that Devin would have been able to hold his own. That's what you said on your show last week. Now you finna try to make it sound like the only reason you ain't do it to him is because you were handicapped in sparring, which coaches do. That's normal. You'll get handicapped. Your coach will tell you only use your jab, only, or don't throw no punches at all. Just defense the whole round. They'll handicap you in sparring. That's normal shit. But what I'm saying is you've already confessed that at the level and the way that the sparring was going, had you been punching back, nigga would have been just fine in there with you when he was 14, 15, 16 years old. So it don't matter if it was 2 times y'all sparred, 1 time y'all sparred. I'm going off the confession that you made. Again, this nigga got to eat crow, tender nil.
Classic.
He got to, G.
I'm only gonna do this.
Ain't no way around it. We ain't fucking with you, dog.
14 or 15. And my dad admired the kind of boxer that you were at your age and said, I just want my son to work defense. Let your son move around. He can throw as many punches as he wants to throw. My son is just going to work defense. We wasn't trying to take it light on you or nothing like that. We didn't feel like you couldn't handle it. My dad was taking me through a rigorous exercise that he did with me. Learn from it. And in the process, you never got money from me. So don't tell people that Sean paid you $200 to $300. I'm sparring Kelly Pavlik when I'm 14 years old. Kelly didn't pay me.
He didn't get money from you, but your dad threw him some bread. So he got money from y'all. You see what I'm saying? Semantics. We gonna play this game? Yeah, Sean, you didn't hand him the money, but your dad did give him a couple $100. You see what I'm saying?
Classic.
Like this the bullshit right here, chat. This the bullshit right here. I got another stream to run on the classic codes. I got my regular stream, so we're not gonna stay on this dude too long. You know, I just wanted to come here and make a couple of points. I'm not even gonna go through the whole thing because honestly, for real, everything that we already heard is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He full of shit for about 10 minutes straight on the topic, and then he move on to talk about some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter got to eat crow along with all the rest of you fuck niggas who was all in the chats on Champ Side. Y'all was all in the chats on Blue Blood. Y'all was all in the chats on Mill City. Y'all was all in the chats on YSM. Y'all was all in the chats on Greg Hackett, GHB TV. Shout out to all the sports channel. You see I'm showing love over here. The ones I don't watch, I won't mention. You know what I'm saying? But y'all was all in the chats, right? Y'all was all in the chats on Sean Zattel. Sean Zattel, you should be ashamed of yourself. As much as you've been in Devin Haney camps, watched him bloody people up in sparring, been around the Haneys, you know they body. You know how they built. And you chose Brian Norman Jr. And you admittedly having a horrible year with your fight picks, Sean Zattel. So I don't know what you tweaking on or what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? But you picked Brian Norman Jr. and I was so disappointed in you. Maybe you've been around Sean Porter too long.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? So we just calling spades. Like I told y'all. See, the thing about me doing sports, I'm an objective person in general. So I don't expect to have friends because I'm objective. Objective people don't have friends. If you want to lose all your friends, go tell the truth. Tell the truth 100% of the time. If you want to lose all your relationships, tell the truth 100% of the time. So I'm not trying to make homies with these motherfuckers. Sean Zattel should be ashamed of himself. You talking about you think the power gonna catch up? Why y'all talking like Devin been stopped before? Why do they keep talking like that, chat?
Classic.
I got another stream to run, but real quick, why do they keep talking like that, chat? Like Devin Haney been stopped before. Ryan Garcia knocked him down 3 times. He got up all 3 times, and he never took backward steps in the fight. He stepped to Ryan the whole night and won the majority of the rounds. But obviously, when you're knocked down in a round, those rounds give you an extra point and sometimes an extra 2 points. And even with that being done, the man still got a draw on one of the scorecards, a close decision on another scorecard for Ryan, and then the other one had it wide. But the fight was competitive. Why are y'all talking like the man got caught with some shit and went night-night or some shit? The man clearly proved that night that he's durable. He fought a man that came in 4.5 pounds overweight and on PEDs, and he still didn't get stopped. But Brian Norman Jr. was finna do it to him. That's why y'all lost y'all fucking money.
Classic.
That's why y'all lost y'all money. Y'all got a real serious problem with believing in black men supported by their black dads. Y'all have a real serious problem with that. And I got a problem with y'all for that. And Sean Porter was trained by his black dad. But maybe Bill and Devin, maybe they make you feel away because him and his dad taking that boxing shit a little further than what you and your dad could do. Maybe that's why you feel away. I get it. Like envy and jealousy, these are natural feelings for some. But what I'm saying, if it's some of that is on your spirit, Sean Porter, the only way to get it off is to acknowledge it, brother. Where's that coming from? That little energy, where's that coming from? So yeah, Devin got every right to respond to you with extreme prejudice. He got every right to go back and cuss out everybody who was talking all that shit. Y'all get to choose what y'all say. You do not get to choose the response. Everybody stick to the codes. Yeah.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.